Hello, world! What's up, guys? This is Dave Van Auken on the Fight Bananas podcast. How's everyone doing? Guys, we're about to have in UFC fighter Randy Costa calling in right now. We've been in talks last couple of weeks. We just have that Fight Bananas magic, that little sprinkle, that dust. He just got matched up. We did not know this a couple days ago. We saw them out there with Daru. He's calling in right now. Let's get Randy Costa on the line. All right, guys, here we go. We told you he was calling in. UFC fighter. How does that sound still, Randy? Sound good?
Sounds pretty fucking awesome, honestly.
I love it, man. So for one, we were talking around maybe 8 days ago, back and forth, and I was kind of saying, our Fight Bananas, we got a little magic. I'm not going to lie. Usually whoever's on it gets a W or good news happens. I was going to have you on with just stuff I've been seeing from you. But big news, fight news, September, take it away.
Yeah, man, September 26th, got the contract yesterday. We've been in talks with UFC about a couple dates, and that's the one that came to fruition. And it's a beautiful thing, man. I can't fucking wait.
I love it. So you said a couple dates. So did you want it? It's really weird to me. July 4th just happened. I know they're in Fight Island. A lot of stuff in the Apex in August. Did you want a September date? Are you super happy with that spot? Is that to give you enough time to get going?
Man, honestly, I thought I was going to be fighting in July. So
okay.
I'm in fight shape.
Right.
I'm ready to make weight. So I thought July initially, and then they pitched August 1. They threw a couple different names at me, and Journey Newson is one of the names that we had thrown at us.
Right.
And he wasn't available until September because of the whole COVID thing still, and the situation that's going on with gyms being closed. So he was available in September, and I figured, that's an awesome fight, super exciting fight. So I figured that was one, and I'll hold off on that. I just moved into my own place, down to Florida from Massachusetts, so there's a lot going on anyway.
Right.
But man, I'm happy with whatever. The Fight Island would have been cool. I'll probably save a little bit more money fighting in Vegas, but I'm happy with whatever, man. I'm happy just to have a fight locked in.
Absolutely, man. I love that. I love when you guys are happy. Let's talk about that. That's why I reached out to you. I don't know how much you've seen of us at Fight Bananas or past. We just have really great, strong ties there with ATT, Coconut Creek, even with Phil Daru, all of his guys. I saw one picture, right? And it's you and then my family down there. I got K-Rock, Mike Davis, Brock Weaver. I'm like, I know everyone in this picture. I got their numbers. We talk every Saturday. I was like, who's this guy? And I was like, Randy Costa. Okay, wow. So what was the move? I can hear it, and then you were definitely a Boston guy, a Massachusetts guy. What was it you wanted to come down to the Sunshine State for?
So I do have ties out here in Florida. I have my parents have a vacation house down here. I have a couple other family members out in the St. Lucie area, but I was supposed to fight March 20th against Martin Day out in Columbus. That fight got canceled on March 16th, and everything was getting locked down at that point. I figured, fuck getting locked down in the cold. I'm gonna sit at the beach if I'm gonna be locked down.
Right,
so,
right.
Came down to the Sunshine State. Was in the Orlando area for a bit. Going to Clearwater and Cocoa Beach for a little while, getting fat and happy because I come off a 7-week fight camp to not even have a fight. So as you can imagine, I was drinking my feelings away, eating my feelings away. So I came down here, and with the current situation of COVID, everything's still kind of really slow at home. Training is extremely consistent out here in South Florida. They're taking a lot of precautions, making sure everyone's getting tested. And you figure there's a lot more pro fighters out here in South Florida than there are in Massachusetts, so it's much easier to have consistent training during this insane fucking time. So everything kind of fell into play, and it just happened. I didn't have any. I had plans of moving to Florida at some point. I didn't have any plans of moving to Florida right this second. The whole COVID thing kind of expedited the whole process. I'm not mad at any of it. I'm happy where I am. Life is good. I'm being treated fucking excellent over at ATT. They're super welcoming. Arms wide open, everyone's cool as fuck, and I'm just happy, man. Life is good.
I love that. I love it, man. Dude, no sales tax, 95 degrees every goddamn day. Come on, man. I'm a Florida guy. I was born in New York as a little kid. I moved to Florida, and I'm not going anywhere. I love it, and I love me some ATT down there. Daru, I'm seeing you busting ass. I'm seeing you working out. How has that move? How did you get connected with Phil Daru?
So when I was in school, I studied phys ed and psychology, all that stuff. So I was familiar with I obviously followed a lot of strength conditioning coaches.
Right.
Phil Daru is one of them just because of his name and the athletes he worked with. So once I made this move, I actually reached out to him before I even went into ATT. So I was very familiar with who he was and what he's done and his credentials and how well he does with his athletes and how well his athletes do working with him. So I DM'd him, I hit him up, came down here and I met him and he was super fucking cool. And we clicked, man. He's a real good dude. Puts me through the gauntlet for sure. But I like him, man. Like I said, I can't say enough good things about him as a person. He was super welcoming from the beginning, and yeah, dude, I'm just happy. Life is good. And you know that the sunshine it doesn't hurt either, man. And I'm Portuguese, so I'm out here getting fucking bronze all year round. It's a beautiful thing.
It is, man. Life is good down here in Florida. Back to Phil has been on our podcast a couple of times, and one thing I like about him, everything he does, not even just workout stuff, what he eats, who he calls, what kind of process he gets to the office. Everything he does, there's a reason behind it. There's a benefit to it as well. So I really like his, his outlook on everything, his game plans, his stuff. I know, results speak for themselves. We've seen what Dustin just did against Hooker a couple weeks ago. He's a huge Daru guy. Joanna Jacek. Junior Dos Santos looks like a goddamn middleweight right now. One of the best heavyweights of all time being down there. Daru's getting the shit done.
Yeah, man, he's killing it. I mean, and his reputation speaks for itself, and his credentials speak for itself. He's not going around flaunting that he's one of the best. It's just he lets his work speak for him. He's a super humble dude. Yeah, dude, it's just everyone's cool. Everyone's cool here. My biggest worry when I initially came down here and started training down here was I would almost like think I would have a target on my back, like I was just some fucking kid, he's in the UFC, let's test him out. But it's actually been the complete opposite. Everyone's been super helpful from the beginning, wants to like know who I am instead of just want to train with me. Man, it's cool. I like it, man. Life's good.
That's awesome, brother. Let's talk some details here, UFC questions. So your opponent hasn't had that UFC victory. You took your first fight there on short notice, but afterwards you got that UFC victory. You know what it takes to win inside of that cage. Is that, do you think, a huge benefit for you going into this fight, that you know what it takes? You know what you have to do for 15 minutes or for 30 seconds. You think is that a benefit for you going forward?
Dude, no, it doesn't fucking matter. He's had like double the amount of professional fights that I had, and actually probably total fights. But I'm not sure if you're familiar why he doesn't have a win in the UFC. It's such a fucking stupid reason, and it's the Texas Athletic Commission. Texas is an extremely conservative state,
right?
And marijuana is illegal there. He probably smoked a little bit too close to the fight, and he popped positive for THC. It wasn't a performance enhancer. He clean clocked a dude. The dude got knocked out. Journey Newson has some fire in his hands, 1,000%.
Yeah,
he has a win in the UFC. Whether they want to take that away from him, he put someone to sleep in the UFC octagon. He knows what it's like to win, and I expect that same energy going forward. I'm sure he's smoking right now. Every single athlete on the roster is smoking weed. It's not a fucking big deal. He has a win in the UFC. It doesn't matter what anyone says.
No, I love it, man. I love it. That's very up for you for sure. When you say that about the weed thing, right? Let's say it on that for a second. Why do you think going forward the UFC should change it? Do you think they should be ahead of the curve? Seems like Dana White does stuff like that. You know what I mean? He knows its benefit. Dana White's probably smoking right there at Fight Island. You know what I mean? Like, he's usually ahead of the curve. He made these fights happen during the pandemic. Do you think the UFC could be the first major, sport organization goes, no, guys, do what you want. Maybe don't do it that day. Don't be tested that day because maybe we shouldn't be on it during the octagon time. But do you think the UFC will do that soon?
Well, the shitty and beautiful thing about it is the UFC doesn't really have a control over it. They can tell the athletes to do whatever they want, but if they want to fight in a state, then they have to abide by the state athletic commission.
Right.
Like I said, the UFC doesn't really have too much of a pull over that stuff. I mean, especially they have the third party with USADA, and then another testing agency, which is each athletic commission has their own rules and restrictions. There's only so much the UFC can do. The UFC does does what they can. States need to recognize the thing. It's not the organization. It's not individual people. It's not Journey Newsom. Journey Newsom didn't do anything wrong. Journey Newsom smoking weed. It's not a big deal. There are bigger problems in this world, and I don't think marijuana is one of them.
That's for damn sure, man. A lot of shit's going down right now, especially here in Florida. The goddamn pandemic is coming back angry at us, man. It's not good, but hopefully we're all staying safe out there. Probably the last thing for you, Randy. I'll let you jump, man. Appreciate your time. Thank you for coming on the podcast. Really do. There's a lot of fights on Fight Island. Is there one that's really jumping at you? If I'm a big Teal Whitaker guy, that fight's great. We got Cater and Ainge tomorrow night, right? A lot of great fights coming up. Is there something on your radar? You're like, oh, I can't miss that.
Man, Calvin Cater's a friend of mine. We're
right.
Boston guys. We've done a bunch of trainings together. In fact, before I got to the UFC, he was. I had a long layoff between my last amateur fight and my first pro fight, and he's one of the reasons why I ended up fighting again. I went out to the UFC PI with him and Rob Font. Those guys are always going to be like brothers. They're my boys. I'm really excited for him to get a crack and get into that top 1, 2, 3 in that featherweight division. That's a super exciting, super intriguing fight. Tomorrow night live on ESPN. I can't wait for it.
There you go, man. But ESPN's got to get you a deal. They need to catch you a little percentage off with that promo for sure. Good work, my man.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude? Huh?
Oh my goodness. Last thing, brother. Are you a big Patriot, Celtic, Red Sox guy?
I'm definitely a hometown guy. Baseball is boring as fuck. I don't really care about basketball. Definitely a football guy. But TB12 is out here in the Sunshine State, so I guess I followed him over here.
That's that's where I was going with that, my man. Like with Brady just being the Mr. Patriot, literally 6 championships, the GOAT of all time, but literally moves over here to Tampa. So you're going to cross the state and watch him a couple times?
Man, honestly, probably. I mean, my family has a house in the Orlando area, so
there you go.
It's not too far from there. I'm excited to see what him and Gronk are going to pull up. I'm not sure I agree with the move for Brady. I think it was like kind of leaving your family behind. It's a little dicey, but honestly, he's later on in his career. Get to the sunshine, dude. Leave New England. I just did the same fucking thing. So
I love it. My main man Randy, appreciate you. We'll talk real soon. Good luck. Be healthy during this camp, and we'll talk to you after you get that W.
All right, brother. I appreciate having me on.
All right, man.
Later.
There we go, guys. What a great interview right there with Randy Costa. UFC, huge future. Like everything you hear, and I talk to so many people down there. It's pretty crazy. It's like I need to get like a scouting foundation. Scouting foundation. I know all the talent down there in South Florida, especially that ATT hub. Even professional fighters, girls like K-Rock, who's not UFC bound yet. But she will be, I'm telling you. And then, of course, tons of UFC fighters. Maybe our favorite guy here on the podcast, Jacob Killer Kilburn, being down there for American Top Team. So a lot of talent there. Just so happy. All right, so Randy did mention the Calvin Kattar fight. This is going to be probably the last time we'll talk to you guys before the show. Yes, we just literally put 2-3 podcasts every single day. It's what we do. You're welcome for absolutely free. So just make sure you keep on sharing it, liking it, rating it, all that good stuff. But here we go. Kattar and Ige, featherweight main event. It really stinks that the co-main, that Frankie and Pedro got moved, but they got moved to UFC 252. We'll talk about that later on. DC, Stipe, Sean O'Malley back on the card, so a lot of stuff. But here we go. Kattar and Ige, I love this fight. Absolutely love this fight. Calvin Kattar, explosive at every single moment of the fight. Doesn't matter. Round 1 at the very beginning when they're standing in the clinch. Round 3, jabs, knees. Ask Jeremy Stevens about the short elbow. So much, he's bringing so many weapons to the fight. It's not just a duel that, you bring the pistol out, 3, 2, 1, like the Quick and the Dead. Leonardo DiCaprio, old school. You're welcome there, guys. There you go. Go get it. Watch on Netflix. But Calvin Kattar is bringing, to me, more ways to win than Ige. And Ige is a stud, too. I think it's 5 in a row, right? The Contender Series all the way. Very controversial, the last one against Barbosa. But it is what it is. Even with that. So it was controversial. But that means you went 15 minutes with Edson Barboza, a UFC legend, and it was toe-to-toe. Yeah, maybe more 53, 57% of the people think Barboza won. Okay, all right. But still, he went 15 minutes with Barboza. There you go. But Kattar, with it being a 25-minute fight, I just think I'm not worried about Kattar in the 4th or the 5th. I think that just gives him more time to get the finish. And, if anything else happens, I'll be surprised, but I'll be honest to say it, and I will give Ige the 100% credit with him and shake his hand. But I think Calvin Kattar gets the job done in exciting fashion. Yo, all right, guys, we are rolling, we are leaving, we are on the jet plane. Don't know if I'll be coming. Okay, there you go, guys. Ben Affleck, Boston, Costa. There you go. Come on. Just real quick, shout out to all of our sponsors. Thank you guys so much. Keeping this podcast for absolutely goddamn free. Talking about Instill Nutrition, instillnutrition.com. Check them out right now. Makotech mouth guards, retrograppler.com. Check out Retro Grappler. They have some of the best rash guards in the business. And then cool shit. They got Rugrats, G.I. Joe. I think we're going to be going bananas with the rash guard very, very soon. We'll get that out there to the people. Great stuff at retrograppler.com. And Warhammer Fightwear. Check them out at warhammerfightwear.com. You can see them on the Amazon app. And last but certainly, goddamn not least, Fusion CBD products. I need the water back. Man, producers, wait. We got water? No? We still don't have our Fusion CBD water. Okay. All right. I'm using the rub. I'm using the InstaFreeze. I'm feeling okay, but I'm not 100%. I don't have my Fusion CBD water. I don't know what else to tell you. This is the greatest commercial for them ever. I need the water. I need it to live. You're welcome. Thank you so much to Randy Costa. UFC September 26th, I think off the top of my head. Cannot wait to see you back in the octagon. We cannot wait to see you guys all back soon listening to the Fight Bananas podcast.